Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Ashley and I am a mom of 3. I am a first-generation homeschooler and this is the first year that I am homeschooling my 5-year-old. We are currently doing preschool. In this video, I wanted to do a little first thoughts and review of the Good and the Beautiful's Science for Little Hands and Hearts Field and Flower curriculum. It comes with the big book of science stories and, like I showed you, the parent guide. In a few minutes I am going to do a flip through of these books for you so you can get a look at them, but I wanted to first start out with sharing just my first thoughts of it. We have not done any lessons in them yet, so this is just strictly what I think from looking at it before starting. So as with all of the Good and the Beautiful, my first favorite thing about any of their curriculum is just the look of it. I absolutely love the aesthetic of the Good and the Beautiful. Anything that they put out, honestly, I am like a sucker for any of it because it really is beautiful. It has amazing pictures, the graphics on it, the colors that they choose, the fonts. Honestly, I love it all. I think it's really engaging and fun for the kids. So that is the first thing that I really like about it. My second thing that I noticed that I really like about it is that it is very open and go. Each lesson, as you'll see in a little bit, is just 2 pages or 1 page, however you want to look at it. That is the lesson right there. It is perfect for young children. It's not super long. For each lesson, there's an opening, a story time, a discussion, and then an optional activity. So I really like the length of the lessons and that you don't need much for it. In the very beginning of the guide, it will tell you what you need for the whole curriculum. It'll break it down by lesson so you can be prepared. But I love that it doesn't require a whole lot. Some of the science curriculums that I've been looking at have a lot that goes into it, and while in the future I would really like to do a bit more experiments and that sort of thing with my children, but right now with the season of having a baby and a toddler and trying to do kindergarten, I'm not interested in something that I need to gather a whole bunch of supplies and have to store all of these supplies. We live in a very small house, so I don't have a lot of space to keep a bunch of stuff. So I really like that about this curriculum. There's a few things that you could possibly need, but most of them are things that you probably already have in your house. The next thing that I really like about this curriculum is the topics of the lessons. Just to give you an idea, some of them are about trees, seeds, garden flowers, desert plants, ants, butterflies, worms, crustaceans, ladybugs, fireflies. I like the topics because my son is very into animals and nature, and I think that these topics will keep him very engaged, as I feel like probably most kids their age. Obviously I don't know your child, but you can go off of that if you think that it will also be a good fit for you guys. But for us, I think they will be really good topics for my son. I think he will be really interested in learning about these things. The next thing that I liked is that in each lesson it has, like I showed you, discussion questions. I like that it has just a few so that you can see if they were retaining the information. We are currently doing the Gather Round preschool curriculum, and they have similar topics of this. We are learning about animals, and it has 3 questions at the end, and I really like that already because it helps me gauge that he is listening, although I can see that he's listening, but it's really, I think it's a fun way to interact with your kids afterwards. So I like that it's not too much, it's just enough to go over to see that they understood, and there's a little bit of back and forth. They can be involved as well. That was the next thing that I really liked. And then the last thing that I noticed that I liked right off the bat is that each lesson also has an optional activity. It says there on the bottom. I like that it's optional. I like that you don't have to feel the pressure to do it, but if it is something that is feasible for your family and it's a topic that your kid really enjoys, it has a bit more that you can dig into, but you don't have to feel the pressure to do it for each lesson unless, of course, you want to. Oh, I did forget one more. The one other thing that I did really like is, of course, the stories. I really like that it comes with stories, and each lesson either has a story or a video to go along to enrich the lesson. I love that because we love reading stories, and my son loves learning that way, and he also really enjoys watching videos on different topics, and he really retains the information when he watches videos. Right now he does ABC Mouse, and he watches videos on there and learns about all different things, and my husband and I are always shocked at the things that he's retained from these videos. So I think that will be a really good fit for him as well. I mean, what kid doesn't love watching videos, right? And I like that it goes back and forth. I like that it's not all videos and it's not all stories, although I honestly wouldn't mind reading a bunch of stories with him, but I do like that it's a mixture, and I think it will keep him interested, and I think it's going to be really fun. So next I want to get into the flip through, so I'll turn the camera around and I'll share what some of the lessons look like and some of the stories. So I thought I would start out going through the parent guide first. It starts out first with the table of contents, about this course, what it includes, how to get started. Then the lesson overview, it walks through how the lessons are each laid out. Some frequently asked questions. How long do the lessons take? Does it include any specific doctrine? Is there anything that you need to prepare? And then it has some correlated books that you can get from The Good and the Beautiful that will complement well with this course. And then these 2 pages are the supplies list. I really like that they're broken up per lesson, so you can know which lesson you're going to be doing that week and be prepared just for that lesson rather than the whole course list being all together. I also really like how they have on each lesson you'll see there are optional activities and then there is an opening activity, and it breaks it down that a lot of these supplies are actually for the optional activities. So if you're not planning on doing them, you don't even need these supplies. So that's actually really helpful. And then here is lesson 1. So each lesson, like I mentioned in the beginning, is 2 pages. It starts off with an opening, and then it has either movie time or story time, and then it goes back and forth between, it shows you where to find the video for the video lessons, and then the book I'll show you for the story lessons. And then it goes through discussion questions, and then there's an optional activity. So I really like how simple each lesson is, but it feels like it's enough too, where there will be learning. So I think I will just start flipping through so that you can get an idea of what they look like. Next, I want to show you the big book of science stories. So like I mentioned, every other lesson, I believe it's every other lesson, has a story rather than a video, and these are the stories all in this book. Here's the table of contents that shows you all of the stories that are in here. I'm not going to flip through this whole thing, but I'll give you an idea of what one story looks like. This one's Lucia's Christmas fur. I'll show you about the length of the story. And that is the end of the first one there. I'll flip through a couple more so that you could just get an idea. The pictures are just so beautiful. I mentioned that already too. And that was the end of the second one, and then I will just flip through this last one here. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. If you have any questions about this curriculum that I can answer, please leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to, and I will see you in the next one.